and choreographed execution, but in a race to cover up, left a trail of evidence behind them. Detectives are closing in on how it happened, but the motive remains unclear. A senior police officer privy to the probe spoke to NTV and said 2 AP officers in custody and who are on duty at the Syokimau AP camp have not been cooperative during interrogation. To quote the source, "These 2 are victims of circumstances because they have refused to talk. The 3 officers are being held in separate police cells." This is the courtroom where Lawyer Willie Kimani and his client were last seen in public before boarding a taxi belonging to Joseph Moirori to Westlands, Nairobi. What they didn't know was that the abductors were waiting 500 meters from Mavoko Law Court to lay an ambush at this junction. A witness who spoke to NTV said an AP Land Cruiser blocked the taxi and the 3 were ordered out. 1 officer drove the taxi following the Land Cruiser. They were taken to this AP holding cell. There are no bookings or records to show the lawyer and his 2 associates were held here, but a key witness who heard noises as he passed by the isolated container holding cell could help investigators pin the suspects. The abductors took their mobile phones and drove off with the taxi, leaving the lawyer and the other 2 at the cell. The witness has told police he heard people knocking from inside the container. Curiosity drove him near, and a note was slipped out of an opening. It was a tissue paper tied up in some damaged electrical cable. The paper had a telephone number of someone Lawyer Willie Kimani wanted to reach out to, sensing he was in trouble. The witness called the number, and that's when everything started moving fast. International Justice Mission, Lawyer Willie Kimani's employer, started looking for him immediately with help from the police and CID. As that was happening, the taxi was driven that afternoon they were abducted to this quiet village in Tigoni, Limuru, Kiambu County. It was abandoned here to throw off the trail as detectives from Flying Squad tracked the mobile phones of the victims to this point, unaware the victims were still being held at Syokimau. Residents here believe the person who drove the car here knew the area very well with its complicated road network from the main highway. NTV has established the car was parked near the house of a man who works in Mlolongo. No connection has been established yet. The chase ended when the phones went off and Lawyer Willie Kimani, his client Josephat Mwenda and taxi driver Joseph Moirori were killed and their bodies put in sacks and later dumped at Old Donyo Sabuk River in Machakos County. 8 days after they were reported missing, their remains surfaced on this river. A local resident reported to the police after he spotted 2 bodies and the 3rd was found the following day. Dennis Okari, NTV.